Hi guys, especially again. My name is Femi, and today we're talking about, do you actually need a degree to get into tech? It's that simple. A topic that is pregnant with more discussion and more topics, right? So I'm here with OluwaTobi. OluwaTobi, it's so nice having you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, same here, OluwaTobi. I call him Wedo, right? Look at me, you understand. And OluwaTobi actually transitioned from a mass comm background into tech, and I think that's what makes you uniquely qualified to be here today to talk about your experience. And I mean, and today you also works with a top fintech, not just in Nigeria but in Africa. I mean, when we're talking about fintech, so I think Toby is like, it's where he works is here, right? And so yeah, that's it basically, right? So I'll be asking the first question, and it's also important to note that you might want to go to the end of this video because we'll also be talking about tech rules that you can integrate with what you're doing currently. You don't necessarily need to leave what you're doing. You can also integrate with something else, right? And yes, so I come back to the first question, which is like the most important, right? What is the big deal about tech? What is the fuss about tech that we're learning? Tech. I mean, if you go to social media now, if you go newspapers, everywhere people are saying, tech bros, they are the new, I mean, tech bro, yes, that's the slang that people talk about, right? So, what's the big deal about tech? I mean, let's forget we're in tech. Let's just take a step back and what's up with tech?
Hmm. Well, I'll just start with this word, right? That technology drives the universe.
Universe, okay?
Yes. So, for every facet of our lives,
Okay,
we have touch points with technology,
okay,
right? From medicine to finance, to agriculture,
okay.
to even family, right? We've got some technological advances that are ensuring that people are able to give birth, right? So tech is actually in every facet of our lives,
Okay.
and that's the main demand for, and due to this, we've got an high demand for, tech skilled workers, right?
Okay.
So these are people that are specially skilled with, solving problems with tech.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So thank you for that, right? So the second question will be set of personal, right? What actually inspired you to dive into tech, right? What is that? I mean, like I said, you're coming from a mass comm background. It must have, taken a lot or a lot less. I don't know, right? So what inspired you?
Right. So I love to tell my stories in two phases, right?
Okay.
When I was pretty young and post university. So when I was young, I saw a plane flew by, and that epiphany just came that I really want to build this thing, right? And it was very intriguing to me. So I started reading books around airplanes, and it's fueled my desire to become an aeronautic engineer. However, Nigeria happened, right? I couldn't pursue that dream, so I ended up being in art class while in secondary school, and also studying mass communication in uni.
Okay.
So in 2020, I found another strong desire to, transition into tech from my career in marketing and communications, which I eventually did in 2021. I went to a boot camp for software engineers for 1 year.
A boot camp?
Yes.
Okay.
Then I got my first job as a software engineer with one of the biggest fintech companies in Nigeria.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I mean, so this very question is important because a lot of people just talk about diving into tech and whatever, but nobody talks about the struggle, right? Nobody talks about the sleepless nights. Nobody talks about the consistency, right, into it. I mean, you just say a lot of things now. I know you still have a lot to say, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, is it possible to dive into tech without a degree?
Well, yes, it is, right? The barrier for entry into tech is becoming increasingly lowered.
Okay.
Right. So right now, the requirements, are becoming as easy as you just committing yourself to a program within a specific period of time. However, for you to be able to sustain your career in tech, you need to actually, want to do the hard stuff, basically, right?
Okay.
And the hard stuff,
stuff. So
yes.
What are the hard stuff?
Not just the hard stuff actually entails you trying to dig deep in terms of knowledge acquisition, right?
Okay.
So being in tech is actually a constant desire to study
Okay.
or learning, right? It's a constant desire to actually learn more, right? So you don't just want to, you don't just want to,
Just do 3 months course.
just do 3 month course and
online course.
find yourself or call yourself a software engineer or call yourself a senior software engineer. Some people go as far as becoming CEOs overnight.
Wow. I see.
Yeah, but I think it's because
CIOs, you mean, right?
no,
CEOs.
CEOs because because they can actually spin up a particular application from ground up and then they feel everything is fine. However, there are nuances to some of all these things, right?
Okay.
And you really want to understand the hard concepts behind the abstraction that's been presented by by tech, basically.
Okay. Frameworks. Okay. So okay, I think that makes sense. So if I understand correctly, you actually agree that okay, you can dive into tech without a degree. However, you must have this test for knowledge. If that
Yeah,
was what you
test for
said.
knowledge actually.
Oh, okay. So, well, I know for me, I know someone once said something, someone I respected, like, before you go into tech, there should be something, you should see a problem you want to solve, or you should see a problem that you want to optimize, right? Or, for example, like software development, and there should be like an application you want to build. Have that insight first before you go into it, because that's what will drive you, that will push you, compel you. It's not just be about maybe learning codes or you're learning, right? There's something that you're looking forward to, so that will channel you into what you actually want to do.
Yeah. So beyond code, right? In my career as a software engineer,
Okay.
there are two important skills that I consider fundamental, right? Problem solving and critical thinking. You can't do without these two skills,
Okay.
right? Because problem solving, right? In your quest for optimization,
Okay.
in your quest for automation, right? You are
Automation.
solving problems.
Okay.
Right? Critical thinking is the ability for you to be able to filter out biases,
Okay.
right, and see things in their truest form.
Okay.
Right? So these two skills are really, really critical in your role as a tech or something to me as a software engineer, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so
That makes sense. Okay. Okay. So my last question here today would be, what are the, so I don't want to say easy tech jobs or easy jobs to dive into that I think I'm about to search for that. What are the easy, perhaps maybe non-coding tech jobs that one can transition to, right, easily. Basically.
right. So I see all roles as the same, right? And I get to prioritize the kind of roles to pursue based on the community around that role, right? How easy are you able to get materials, resources? How easy are you able to get mentors? So these are things that people should consider. So you don't just get into a role and then you're like a small fish in a very big ocean with no or little help
Okay.
at all, right? So some of the roles to consider, we've got data science,
Okay.
we've got graphics design, we've got UI UX design,
UX, yeah.
project management,
Project.
product management,
Agile
product
coach.
designer,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are the non-coding roles.
No coding roles.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense actually, and those are also roles that can, one can transition to. I mean, not everything is Python, so
Yeah.
okay, so that makes sense. So okay, I'd like to also add that I mean, for viewers out there, and this might be important. So for those of you that are probably into your roles, your career path, you don't necessarily have to leave it and move it to tech. Because I see a lot of people now, they want to actually leave what they've perhaps studied in university and go into it. You can actually integrate what you're doing with tech, right? And that makes it a whole lot more beautiful.
Yeah.
We have tech career path. We have career paths like health informatics, legal tech, legal analytics,
Yeah.
right? Roles that they're into what they do, but it also integrates with tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that makes sense. I think Yeah.
So because tech actually touches at every facet of our lives,
Okay.
right? So you can find a tech role in basically anything, right? In as much as you want to save time and save costs, right? I think your desire to want to do that. I think you're a tech person already, right? Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, that's the end of it today. Mr. Toby, Mr. OluwaTobi, sorry. Thank you so much for coming. I
Yeah.
mean, it's really nice. It's actually an honor. I mean, like I said, your experience makes you uniquely qualified actually to talk about this today because you went through it, right? You underwent the struggle, and here you are today working with one of the biggest fintechs in Africa. So
Yeah.
yes, and
I wish you could have gone more because even myself, I'm learning. I see that you're damning a lot of ignorance in me, and this is beautiful, right? So, but you have to stop here. And to the viewers, please share, like, subscribe. Till we do this again, right? So, cheers.